Does AI help development teams be more innovative, or does it help them be faster? Or maybe it's a little bit of both. Well, that's the question I wanted to ask Jacob Sims. He's the Chief Technology Officer at NextGen. And I really wanted to find out how they're leveraging AI internally out of the company. And as well, I wanted to learn more about this new NIA, which is an AI agent that manages other AI agents, almost like an air traffic controller. I can't wait for you to hear what he has to say. Let's get to it. Jacob, welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Colin. Happy to be here.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here. We're here at the NextGen User Conference 2025 in lovely Nashville, Tennessee. And I really liked your keynote yesterday that you gave. And I didn't realize that you were releasing a new, I'll call it air traffic controller or agent of agents. You guys call it NIA. Can you tell me more about what that is?
Yeah, NIA is a good way, and that's a perfect way to think about it. NIA is like a team lead for a suite of agents. And so what NIA is and what NIA's strength is the ability to communicate with the user on their terms. So we serve a broad array of users. We serve providers, we serve MAs, we serve staff. We serve a broad group of people that each have a different role in providing fantastic care. And so what NIA is specifically built to do is communicate with those individuals on their terms. A provider has a different way of talking and a different set of needs than someone who's managing the schedule, someone who's processing a claim. So NIA is really an expert and a team lead that knows how to talk to then other agents that are acting on behalf of that individual in a specific domain. So as an example, we've got an RCM agent that's focused very deeply in understanding all the intricacies of RCM, all the processes, and so they're a domain expert in that. We have a chart review agent that's specifically knowledgeable about how to read and interpret a chart on the behalf of the provider or a staffer or an MA or a scribe or someone else. And so NIA is really that orchestrator that's connecting all of those other agents that have deep, deep, deep domain expertise in their individual area so that our users have a simple way to interface and an intelligent way to interface that eases their day-to-day burdens.
Yeah, I think that was sort of the light bulb moment for me sitting in the audience, was realizing that there is such specialization in the AI. Like we say the word AI, but I think myself included, think of it as one giant blob of technology. And what you're saying is that you have specialized AI, specialized agents that do very specific things, like you just mentioned, RCM, you have one agent, and then you have another one that does chart review, and then NIA is the one that coordinates all those efforts.
That's right. That's right. And that's where we see the market going, right? There's fantastic opportunity in AI and general agents and large LLMs. They do wonderful things across a broad array of problem domains. And so they're able to answer SAT questions, answer legal questions, opine on philosophy, right? But in the act of delivering care, we have to have a level of resilience, explainability, auditability, and ethics that we apply to every single use case. Equally, we need deep knowledge in every one of those particular cases. So our focus is really bringing those two worlds together. We want to take the best of what our general capabilities allow us to do for solving general problems that require less specificity and maybe orchestrate across a suite of things. We want to equally leverage technology and AI that's really deep and really knowledgeable and deeply trained to solve deep problems that require a specific set of nuance, a specific set of capabilities, or a specific knowledge that has to be highly rigorous for that particular domain. So by bringing those two things together, it's allowing us to really tailor what is the underlying technology and the underlying intelligence towards the particular value prop that we're trying to create and for the particular value we're trying to create for our users.
Now, you mentioned a word there, and you said it on stage yesterday as well, and I want to ask you more details about it. But before we get into that word, can you just tell our audience a little bit about your role here at NextGen?
Sure. I'm immensely excited to be at NextGen. I've been with NextGen about 18 months, and my role is to really help bring together all the women and men on the many different teams we have around the world to do awesome things to continue to transform our technologies. My role is to really help set the stage, drive the vision in partnership with many others, and then arm our people with the ability to think. We've got fantastic people and fantastic talent that's joining our organization from every different industry and every different segment. And so these are highly passionate people. My goal is to bring them together, give them the room to think, give them the tools that they need to thrive, and then get them pointed in a direction so that they're all rowing together. And that's what I get up for every single day.
So Jacob, the word that I wanted to quiz you on was the word ethical, because it was mentioned a couple of times up there to say you're really pushing forward the ethical use of AI. What does that word mean to you when I say that?
So ethics, in AI is a broad umbrella, but really what it really embodies is, in my opinion, fairness. And fairness in depth of how you're building all the different capabilities around the AI. So AI at the end of the day is math. It's statistics on a broad plane, right? And so statistics is about finding averages, finding the mean. And so it's going to look for the patterns in data. So with AI, it's very, very important that you give it a broad array of information for it to really understand and really think broadly. There are different cases. So as an example, the majority of the population is going to be middle-aged, right? We see the youth. If all of your data, there's less data available for the youth, specifically in healthcare, than there is on a more aging population, just by nature of them being in the healthcare system for a longer period of time. So if all you're using to train your AI is on that specific set of data, it's going to be the best it possibly can be on that set of data. But when you need to bring in another set of data that doesn't maybe necessarily represent that particular demographic or that individual's background, whether it's socio or economic, racial or otherwise, that creates a problem. And so ethics is really about creating fairness in the world of AI and taking those extra 2, 3, and 4 steps to ask the question, especially early in the design process, what is the data that I'm using to train the AI, to build the AI, really telling it? Is the data complete? Does it represent a diverse set of information? Does it have a depth of information in each one of those diverse pools? And as a result of it, is it able to deliver an appropriate response given an individual's specific background, the specific clinical background, or the specific process background?
I mean, it's great to hear you say that, because again, I think when we think of AI, it's a blanket technology, and we don't realize that it's trained on something. Like as you just mentioned, we have to give it a broad data set. Otherwise, we risk it having the same biases that some of the older research has, where it's just focused on this one demographic, perhaps unbeknownst to the researcher.
That's exactly right.
I like it. So let me turn it around and ask you this question. How are you leveraging AI here at NextGen?
Yeah, something we use every day. My team teases me that I am probably the most prolific user in our company by a factor of 10. I'm a huge believer in innovation has to come from the teams as a whole. And the best way to get people to innovate and understand new tools and new things and new opportunities is by really just getting them working with it every single day. So we use AI broadly. We think of it in 2 different contexts. We have corporate innovation challenges. We're investing in AI capabilities, whether it's broad scale LLMs or very narrow specific tooling. We have augmented tooling that helps our developers author code, review it for security checks. We look in AI to monitor all the different billions of log messages that are flowing through. So each and every day, we're giving our teams the tooling, the space, the investment that they need to learn. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is really about creating a culture, an inquisitive culture that's looking to evolve. Some of the things that I've seen in the media over the last 6 or 12 months is really these organizations, especially some of the large consultancies, that are evolving and looking at, okay, I need to get to an AI native workforce. And an AI native workforce, in my opinion, training in those things really help. But it's not the depth of understanding when you're using it day in and day out. So we look at it again in 2 ways. One, we have capabilities and investments that we're driving across every facet of our organization, whether it's our client services organization, our engineering organization, our product organization, our security organization. And then 2, as part of the actual time and effort that we're putting into building our processes, executing our day-to-day jobs, we're creating a set of innovation challenges, culture, goals, and other things that are really rewarding and creating a forum for people to communicate about AI, share the different things that are working well for them. And as a result, we're seeing gains in a lot of areas. So our philosophy, really kind of boiling it down, is we have some awesome people, as I mentioned, and we're getting even better people every single week. And so arming them with the things they need to do to be able to innovate is sort of our approach. And then we're creating an environment where they can learn and thrive together.
So it sounds like you've really created this AI culture here where it's acceptable to use it. It's okay. It helps people be innovative. You ran a challenge recently, I think. And
Mhm.
what do you do with the winners of that challenge? What is the result
Yeah.
of that?
So one thing I would call out is part of that culture is also security.
Hmm.
And so our CISO, Garududian, and I are partnered at the hip. And so part of that education process is really bringing people in to help them understand the impact of some of these tools, both the pros and the cons. But back to the innovation challenge. We had a fantastic innovation challenge when we went over to visit our India colleagues. And we saw ideas about mobility, ideas for the developers, how to streamline getting new capabilities out, quality capabilities. And each one of those are things that those teams came up with organically. They were kind of back to our discussion a little bit earlier. Innovation really happens everywhere. They were solving problems in their area, really empathizing with our customers or their end users inside of our organization, saying, oh, hey, this capability lets me work easier or better. So actually, a number of those innovations are down on the innovation showcase floor. So we track every year how many of those innovations that come out in these various showcases actually make it into production, and we're in the upward 90, 95th percentile. So we have some awesome people that are doing things, and a big part of that is they see that connection to, if they put in the time and the energy to think creatively and outside the box, that it actually does impact our customers and impact our clients. And so we really foster that culture, helping to bring that to bear.
Now, you mentioned something that I've been advocating for a while, but I'm interested to hear how you're using it. You mentioned that you're using AI to analyze your log files.
Mm-hmm.
What insight has AI been able to give you that from those files?
Yeah, I mean, one of the challenges is we have a large install base. Um, with a very diverse set of multi-specialty organizations and different use cases, different segments in the market, and different parts. NextGen really serves as the heartbeat of an ecosystem. And so a lot of times we interface with many other players. And so as someone who's really supporting that environment, that's a lot of complex information that's moving around in real time. And so one of the ways we use AI is really simply to say, okay, hey, if there's a problem that's occurring in the system, there may be a little heartbeat over here that's slowing down, but there may be a number of other factors that when you pool them together, it's very difficult for a human to process all that information in real time. It could be across thousands of different components, but AI gives us the capability, and some of the partners that we're working with help us out here in terms of aggregating all that data and sifting the signal through the noise to say, oh, yes, there is a problem for Dr. Susie over here. It's being caused by this thing, and we can immediately resolve it. And so what it's actually manifesting as for our clients is the time it takes for us to resolve an individual case has gone down by 40%.
Wow.
In the last couple months. And so we're seeing a level of customer centricity and the ability to walk a mile in our customers' shoes just because we have the data that helps us see and understand what is the experience that they're having. And so kind of coming back to our log data, we're using it to kind of take all of those logs and bring the human element out of it to say, hey, what's really happening across this diverse set of information so that we can act on it, either to address an issue or to validate that a problem that we've addressed is being fixed, or to bring new capabilities to bear because we are able to really understand it in a way that we've never been able to.
So I've heard you mention, increase in efficiency in terms of development and creation, innovation, the ability to imagine new things. If you were to look at your use of AI, which of those levers has been the most beneficial for you?
Yeah, I'd say we're in the early innings.
Okay.
in all three. I mean, we've seen tremendous results in a very short period of time. The thing that I'm most excited about is the combination of AI capabilities with our people. And that's where I'd say we're seeing a unique rise. whether it's in the example we just gave about log data and really unpacking that and solving it. It's we're taking someone who is deeply knowledgeable about the system and we're turning them into super people, right? Our product owners, we're giving them capabilities and access to things to ideate and think and run scenario modeling and understand how the market's moving and what adoption will be. It's a trusted third party and a safe person or safe AI to think with. For our developers, it's helping to reduce the toil. So we're deeply excited about all three, but kind of bringing it all back, it's really about the combination of AI capabilities and investments we're making there with people in a specific part of the organization and bringing those two things together. That's where we're seeing magic happen.
Now, one of the areas that you're putting some focus on, and it was mentioned on stage, was APIs and making the system a bit more open, more welcoming, if you will, to partners. Now, you've always been open and welcoming. I'm just saying that the number of APIs that you're offering seems to be increasing very, very quickly. Can you talk to me a little bit about that and the ecosystem that you're trying to foster with partners?
Yeah, we're making big investments in our APIs. Not just for the market, for ourselves. And that's one of the sort of philosophical changes that we're really driving is what's good for our engineers and our R&D teams that make their lives easier to build better code, to build better products, more accessible capabilities, access data that's clean. Those are the same problems that the ecosystem that we participate in has every single day. So I think first our viewpoint has evolved from APIs aren't just something that you expose because the market demands it. They are in and of themselves a core product and a part of our strategy. So we have focused teams that are arming all of our engineers with the ability to build awesome APIs. And we're starting with obviously all the various regulated requirements, but our view is really extending that 100 miles past that to how can we improve automation? How can we address some of the operational components of the platform? How can we provide access to the inner workings in a safe way that allows folks to upgrade quickly and advance quickly?
Jacob, over the next 12 months, can you give us a sneak peek at some of the exciting things that you're working on and that maybe we can expect announcements on in the next year?
Sure. I think a lot of them are here today. You know, NIA, we're going to double down on NIA. Again, NIA was born out of innovation from a number of different parts in our organization. So you're going to see those experts continue to come online. We have a relentless commitment to interoperability. So you're going to continue to see more APIs, more announcements like the backbone announcement we just made today, more in data, and then also more in terms of how we're looking to transform the people have, the experience, the usability of our products on the front end and sort of bringing that all together. And so we're really excited about where we're going, and that pace is just going to keep picking up.
I love it. I love it. Well, I look forward to sitting down with you next year at the event to kind of quiz you on all the achievements that you've accomplished. But Jacob, thank you so much for being on the program today. Last question for you. Where can people go to learn more about NextGen?
NextGen.com is the best spot. We've got a real active presence on LinkedIn, social media, and other things, and the team's doing wonderful work kind of sharing where we're going. And I'd say also our clients and our partners. We have a fantastic ecosystem of folks that really help us think outside the box and push us every day to be better. And they participate in those different channels with us. And so they bring a level of real to it that we're really proud of.
Well, Jacob, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down with me and talk about all the wonderful things you're doing here at NextGen.
Awesome, Colin. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Hey, I really want to thank Jacob for sitting down with me and sharing more about how the team at NextGen is leveraging AI. I was really impressed with the innovation challenges that they run that has resulted in actual new products hitting the mainline products suite. I think that's actually a pretty impressive culture that they've created around innovation. Plus, I can't wait to continue to keep track of how their new NIA solution is going to perform out in the wild. And hey, if you enjoyed this interview, please mash that like button and click subscribe. Also, head over to healthcareittoday.com for more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next video.